What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MakeTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And I'm doing a second look at Memoir of a Snail. That means I've seen it with audio description. It means that there is an actual existing audio description track for this movie, despite the fact that it was not used in theatrical release, from what I could tell. Or if, I mean, our theaters failed us and didn't list it as being audio described, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know anybody who saw it theatrically with audio description. Interesting thing is, when this movie came out and I was offered a screener of it, I asked if there was an audio description track for the movie. No. Um, but there is, because now there's one on video on demand. So, since this movie got an Oscar nomination, I figured, you know what? I'll go back and watch it. Plus, I'm interested in Adam Elliott. I do like, stop motion animation. I like the fact that Guillermo del Toro is really, really campaigning for him. Like, these two are like bound at the hip. I'm a big fan of Guillermo, so I don't know. He keeps showing up and doing Q&As for Adam Elliott. So good on you, man. So Memoir of a Snail. Sarah Snook, Cody Smith McPhee, Olivia Colman. It's not a happy movie. This is one of those movies that challenges the idea that animation is for kids, like it's not. But of course, we already knew that because you could watch anything from Anomalisa to uh, I, Waltz with Bashir. Uh, I'm trying to think of I don't know, more movies. But yeah, there are plenty of instances where you're like, that's, even if it's not graphic, it's definitely thematically would bore the shit out of a 5-year-old, you know? Just like, I can't even imagine like kids watching some of those movies. But, and even the stuff that we do with rotoscope, which is, almost, which is generally considered to be animation. Um, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to say A Scanner Darkly was for kids. So it's this weird notion that for some reason that this always means, yeah, it's not family friendly. There's like sex and nudity and violence and people die and things happen and just a lot of things in this movie, cursing, and it's a fun little adventure. I liked it enough back in the day that when I did my initial review of this, my floating grade I think was a B plus, so I said it could be like a B or an A minus. So I pretty much nailed it because I like the quirkiness of it, and the audio description track really does lean in on sort of that. um the It's not that quirky. It's kind of, it's pretty straightforward, but at the same time, she is a lady that's obsessed with snails. She does have the ashes of her pet guinea pig. Like, there are things that are that happen in this movie where you're just like, well, that's a little, there's some quirk here that's happening in this movie. I love the way that it's written with some of the scripts. I love when is referring to like her wobbly bits. I just love when British people use the term wobbly bits. Um, and it's an effective story. I definitely got more out of it too the second time around, especially with the twin that Cody Smith McPhee voices, uh, Gerald, I think is his name. Um, I got more out of his storyline too the second time around, which was really interesting. I found more nuance. Not only did I find audio description, but I actually, the second time through, found more nuance in the story. So sometimes the second time through pays off, um, and actually it ends up improving a movie for me. Sometimes the second time through will also go down. You can also be like, oh, what was I thinking? I was a crazy person. Or oh, we put audio description on it. Now I didn't know. I was giving the movie grace. And I saw Bird for the second time, and it lost me with audio description. Once I knew what all the choices were, once I knew what was happening, I was like, well, thank you for making bold choices, Andrea Arnold, but I'm not as big of a fan I thought I might be of this movie. um, but yeah, I pretty much nailed Memoir of a Snail, and I got even more out of it the second time around. I think Sarah Snook is doing a really nice performance here, voiceover wise. She sort of carries the movie. I love that it's Shiv from Succession, because imagine, imagine if you will, that somehow Memoir of a Snail had actually gained some sort of traction. She became like the first person to be nominated for voiceover work. We would have had like the three Succession siblings nominated in the same year. All we need is like Brian Cox finally getting that Oscar nomination that he's been owed his entire life. And we could have got like the Succession clan in this year. We've already got Kieran and Jeremy. We just need to figure out a way to nominate Sarah. And Sarah could have been nominated for Memoir of a Snail. Brian Cox, I don't know, just be open to it, but Little Wing. And yeah, but it been like the year of Succession. I don't know that, yeah, Alan Ruck doesn't have anything remotely close to an Oscar nomination this year, so, and I don't think Matthew McFadden does either. Although, I guess Deadpool and Wolverine. That's really stretching it. Um, but yeah, the year of Succession. Anyway, I like the movie a little bit more with audio description. It's still not my favorite animated feature of the year, but I'm now able to place it on a list of animated features because it has audio description. I don't know why. Why was this in theatrical? Like, why was it only? Anyway, I have thoughts. Like, come on, man. Like, if you want us to see things in theaters, like, but then again, I don't know. Maybe they did put it out, and maybe like theaters just forgot to label the movie as having audio description. I don't know, but we're not gonna head out to a movie just to like play roulette. Walk into a theater and be like, does it have it? I don't know. Yeah, so somebody failed along the way, either IFC or movie theaters. I don't know, one of the two things. I'm gonna guess IFC didn't put it out in theaters in time, but then lo and behold, it's an Oscar nominee, so maybe they were like more encouraged to put an audio description track on it. Sort of like Amelia Perez. Amelia Perez did not launch on Netflix with an English audio description track and came along later after it won the Golden Globe. About 2 weeks after that, we had an audio description track. So I'm going to guess that's probably it. Yeah. So give it a look-see. And I'm giving Memoir of a Snail, after having watched it for the second time with audio description. I'm going to give it an A-. I actually really liked it a lot. It's a pleasant sort of counter to a lot of the family-oriented fare that did have audio description this year. And I just have never gotten into Wallace and Gromit. That's the one thing. They've never been my thing. They've never been my shtick. Aardman, like me and their brand of humor, it's really hard for me for them to sell me on it. And I think if I could have swapped one movie out this year, it probably would have been, swapping out Wallace and Gromit. But not Memoir of a Snail. It gets to stay. Or Flow. Flow could go away because it doesn't have audio description. But I know that's controversial because everyone's like, I love Flow. I can't understand Flow. That movie definitely needs audio description. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.